Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Secretary Napolitano, thank you for administering the oath and making it official. Director Mayorkas, distinguished guests, family, and friends, it is a great pleasure to have you here at the White House, and it is an honor to be among the first to greet some of my fellow citizens of the United States. Today, here in the People's House, a house designed by an Irish immigrant, we welcome 28 men and women, immigrants themselves, who from this day forward have earned the precious right to call this country home. And I know this is an incredibly special moment for you and for your families, but I have to say it's a special moment for the rest of us as well, because as we look out across this room, we're reminded that what makes somebody American isn't just their bloodlines, it's not just an accident of birth, it's a fidelity to our founding principles, a faith in the idea that anyone, anywhere, can write the next great chapter in this American story. That's the promise of America. And today we know it's alive and well in each and every one of you. At first glance, of course, it'd be easy to define this group by their differences. They all hail from different corners of the world, from Nigeria to Nicaragua, from the Philippines to Peru. They arrived here in different ways. Some of you came here as children, carried by parents who wished for a life that they had never had. Others came as adults, leaving behind everything you knew to seek a new life. But what binds you together, what binds us all together, is something more meaningful than anything of that. A love for this country and all that it represents. That's what unites each and every one of you. For Nikita Kirichenko, there's Nikita right here. That love runs so deep it led him to enlist in our military. Nikita came here at the age of 11 from Ukraine. His mother saw America as the one place on earth where her son could do anything he wanted. And a few years ago, Nikita decided that he wanted to join the Air Force, so that, in his words, I could give back to a country that took me in and gave me a better life. Thank you, Nikita. Today we proudly salute him, not just as a member of our military, but also as a citizen of our country. Today we salute Elrena Brits. Where'd Elrena go? There she is. Elrena was born in South Africa, came here as a child, grew up in Washington State. When Elrena decided to join the Navy, somebody told her that she wouldn't be able to cut it. But even though she wasn't yet American on paper, she had that American quality of being defiant when somebody says you can't do something. So she proved them wrong. She deployed twice to the Middle East, once to Haiti, showcasing another quintessentially American impulse, and that's helping others in need. And as a new citizen, Elrena hopes to serve her country in a new way as a police officer. So congratulations, Elrena. Elrena, Nikita, every member of the military with us have shown incredible patriotism, a willingness to risk their lives in defense of a nation that was not yet their own, and that's a remarkable act. And it made each of them one of us. It made each of them in some ways American even before it was official, because that kind of service and sacrifice has defined our nation for more than 2 centuries. In America, we look out for one another. We see citizenship not just as a collection of rights, but also a set of responsibilities. That's who we are. And that's what brought so many to our shores, including Kingsley Alebo. Kingsley came here at the age of 35 from Nigeria, pursued his master's in information technology. He's now pursuing his doctorate. He wants to become a professor so he can help America lead the world in high-tech industries of tomorrow. And what Kingsley said is what makes this country great is that if you're a citizen, you're part of something bigger than yourself. And he's right. And we're glad that, as of today, Kingsley is part of it too. We're also glad to welcome Pratula George Red. Pratula arrived in America from St. Lucia at the age of 23, leaving behind her parents and 7 siblings. She came here to study international development. She stayed for over a decade now to work at nonprofits that teach our kids about sustainable foods and how to live a healthier life by eating well. which I know Michelle's very happy about. Today she also has the gratitude of her new nation. So thank you so much. We're so proud of everybody here. In each of you we see the true spirit of America. And we see a bit of ourselves too, because most of our stories trace back to moments just like this one, to an ancestor who, just like the men and women here today, raised their right hand and recited that sacred oath. And the point is that unless you are one of the first Americans, unless you are a Native American, you came from someplace else. That's why we've always defined ourselves as a nation of immigrants, and we've always been better off for it. The promise we see in those who come from all over the world is one of our greatest strengths. It's kept our workforce young, it keeps our businesses on the cutting edge, it's helped to build the greatest economic engine that the world has ever known. You think about the drive and the determination that it took for each of these 28 men and women to reach this moment. Imagine how far they'll go from here, the kind of difference that they'll be making on behalf of this country. Immigration makes us stronger. It keeps us vibrant, it keeps us hungry, it keeps us prosperous. It is part of what makes this such a dynamic country. And if we want to keep attracting the best and the brightest that the world has to offer, then we need to do a better job of welcoming them. We've known for years that our immigration system is broken, that we're not doing enough to harness the talent and ingenuity